Every ambitious entrepreneur eventually hits a hidden wall where the business stops feeling like an asset and starts feeling like an anchor. You built this venture to capture freedom, but instead you find yourself trapped inside a chaotic, tangled web of administrative noise. The inbox is a never ending stream of micro decisions, scheduling links are bouncing back and forth like a chaotic game of digital ping pong, and your actual creative genius is completely suffocated by maintenance work. When you reach this breaking point, the traditional advice is always the same: hire a virtual assistant. Throw headcount at the problem. Hand over your credentials to a human operator and let them manage the chaos for you. But if you have actually taken that step, you quickly discover the hidden friction of the human variable. Managing a virtual assistant introduces an entirely new tier of cognitive overhead. Suddenly, you aren't just running your business, you are managing a manager. You are writing standard operating procedures, answering continuous Slack questions about basic context, checking for human errors, and worrying about security vulnerabilities with your sensitive data. The moment they get sick, take a vacation, or misinterpret a client's tone, the entire fragile system collapses back onto your shoulders. You haven't actually eliminated the administrative burden, you have just outsourced the manual typing while keeping the ultimate decision fatigue. True operational sovereignty requires a completely different approach. The modern solution isn't to hire a human to act like a machine, it is to turn your Google Workspace into a perfectly oiled, automated system. Today, we are breaking down the complete blueprint to transform your chaotic web of communication into a seamless, high-leverage architecture. We are replacing the traditional, high-maintenance assistant with a fully integrated Google Flow network. This is a self-contained digital ecosystem that runs silently 24/7, defending your schedule, contextualizing your incoming data, and executing your daily logistics with absolute zero latency and zero overhead. The primary reason an entrepreneur's day dissolves into chaos is the unstructured nature of incoming data. Your inbox treats a critical $10,000 client escalation with the exact same visual weight as a cold sales pitch or a generic software update. A human assistant has to manually open, read, and interpret every single line of text to figure out what needs to happen next. This manual filtering is incredibly slow and highly prone to error. To fix this at the root level, we construct the contextual ingestion engine within your Google Flow ecosystem. Instead of allowing your inbox to remain a passive, chaotic reservoir, this flow turns it into a highly sophisticated data sorting matrix. The moment an inbound email enters your domain, the system strips away the superficial text and performs an instant structural analysis. It evaluates three specific vectors simultaneously. The intent vector. What is the sender actually asking for? Is it a timeline update, a pricing inquiry, or a technical asset delivery? The relationship vector. Where does this sender live inside your business database? Are they an active enterprise client, a warm lead, or a complete stranger? The urgency vector. Does this message contain real operational dependencies that impact your active production cycle? Once this analysis is complete, the flow triggers an automated background script. It pulls relevant information from your project management databases, formats a highly contextual response using your precise personal vocabulary, and places that response cleanly inside your Gmail drafts folder. When you eventually open your inbox, you aren't staring at an intimidating wall of problems. Instead, you find a beautifully organized list of pre-rendered solutions. Your only task is to review, approve, and deploy, instantly eliminating hours of reactive typing. The second major source of friction in an independent business is the continuous dance of calendar coordination. Many founders rely on public booking platforms to try and automate this, but traditional scheduling links are blunt instruments. They treat your time as entirely binary. Either a slot is completely empty, or it is full. They don't understand your energy levels, they don't respect your creative production blocks, and they allow external parties to drop meetings into your day in a way that completely breaks your focus. We replace this rigid approach with the kinetic scheduling sentinel. This Google Flow operates as a highly intelligent, conditional filter that sits directly between the outside world and your actual calendar database. Instead of offering a static menu of open slots, this system continuously calculates your real-time cognitive availability based on active project deadlines and deep work priorities. If your system detects that you are currently in the middle of a high-value product sprint, it automatically alters your external availability behind the scenes, compressing booking options down to a specific afternoon window later in the week. Furthermore, the flow tracks calendar density. It prevents back-to-back meeting fatigue by automatically inserting a mandatory 30-minute cognitive buffer block between any scheduled events. If a prospect attempts to book a call that violates your personal energy parameters, the system dynamically shifts the available options without you ever needing to intervene. It acts as an unyielding digital bodyguard for your attention span, ensuring your highest leverage hours are fiercely protected. The final piece of an optimized system is the fluid movement of data across your entire business ecosystem. A traditional virtual assistant spends a significant amount of time performing manual data entry, copying a phone number from an email into a CRM, creating a task card inside a project board based on a client request, or manually uploading a file to a specific shared folder. This manual relay race is where critical context gets lost, deadlines get missed, and operational chaos thrives. The asynchronous ecosystem conductor completely eliminates this manual labor by knitting your various tools into a singular, cohesive organism. This flow monitors the touch points where your business interacts with external clients. The moment a project agreement is flagged as accepted, the system instantly executes a cascade of background logistics. 1. It automatically generates a dedicated client documentation folder with structured subdirectories for assets and deliverables. 2. It populates your internal project management tracker with the precise milestones and deadlines outlined in your agreement. 3. It triggers a highly personalized, automated onboarding sequence that delivers the exact resources your client needs to get started. This entire sequence occurs in a matter of milliseconds, with zero human intervention required. Data flows effortlessly from your inbox, through your calendar, and straight into your operational databases. Your business maintains an immaculate, world-class standard of execution, while you remain completely undisturbed, focusing your attention entirely on deep, strategic growth. Transitioning from a chaotic manual workflow to an automated Google Flow network completely redefines the mathematics of your business. When you rely on human headcount or disorganized manual processes, your operational complexity scales aggressively with your revenue. More clients mean more emails, more meetings, and more administrative friction. You end up trapped in a loop where success actually decreases your personal quality of life. By substituting human management with an elegant, automated architecture, you permanently decouple your revenue from your time. Your operational overhead drops to near zero, your execution speed accelerates to near instantaneous levels, and your business gains the capacity to scale effortlessly without requiring you to sacrifice your personal freedom. You transition from a stressed operator fighting daily fires to a true system designer tracking metrics from a position of absolute leverage. The cold reality of scaling a modern venture is that throwing more human headcount at a broken, unstructured data loop just compounds your executive stress. Relying on manual typing and human management to keep your business responsive is a fragile strategy that inevitably bottlenecks your true growth. Your implementation challenge for the upcoming 24 hours is to map out the single most repetitive logistical task you currently handle or delegate. On a single sheet of paper, sketch out its exact inputs, the conditional rules required to solve it, and the final destination of that data. That logical sequence is the exact raw data you will feed into your first automated processing network. If you want to grab the exact integration stack config files that convert a chaotic web of client communications into a perfectly oiled digital machine, the operational downloads are fully accessible via the link below. Don't forget to subscribe because in our next operational deep dive, we are breaking down how to connect these real-time data ingestion flows directly into a seamless, high-retention client onboarding sequence. Catch you in the next one.